What up, Fight World? Your boy Ego. The Vampire Street. What? That is tripping. The Vampire Street.
Delightful mind of a comic genius. Starting now. All of us admire the lightning-fast physical reflexes of great athletes. For those of us who have not been blessed with your gift, how do you explain the mental reflexes that you deploy and are deploying tonight with such awesome speed? Are you thinking faster than the rest of us? What the hell is going on?
What did De La Hoya tweet about Canelo? About his shocking fight or whatever? Or did he put something else?
It's necessary to know this phrase. Therapy, academe shots. Why am I under arrest? Now the ever speed reading on.
Man, I don't know. I don't want no surprise. I want to see Canelo fight somebody better than Rocky Fielding. I don't need to be surprised. Just give me. I like basic shit. Just give me Canelo Jacobs, Andre Charla, Zurdo or something.
From his early years to the height of his fame, Robin Williams was most at home on stage.
We working.
Robin's stand-up comedy was a roller coaster ride through his incredible mind, and he never did exactly the same show twice.
Why the Charlos doing better numbers than Miller and Jacobs at the bar cut? Cause Eddie Hearn. That's our new shit. Everybody just type Eddie Hearn. I just got back to my room. Just lay the fucking.
That's your old boss. Did you?
Canelo's going to 160. No, I don't think it'll be Floyd. I don't think Canelo can make 52. He'll be dead. Canelo. If Canelo, after all this shit, fighting Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. at 164.5, fighting Golovkin twice at 60, and then fighting Robin Williams at 68, if he try to go back to 152, he about to be a dead man. Floyd gonna stop him at 152 because he can't make that weight comfortable. He gonna look like Lil Debbie at the weigh-in with that red hair. He gonna look like Lil Debbie Snacks trying to make 152. Like Opie. Ego Army. Man, listen, you see, I got the Army fatigues, man. We ready for war. We ready for whatever. They said don't start a war unless I got my money right. Well, I got my money right. Now I want war. He gonna look like a starving Irish stepchild. That's what I'm saying, bro. You have to understand the logistics. Canelo would look terrible at 152 now. He was 23. He's 28 now. Maybe even 29. He was 23 when he made 152. He finna look like the Shermanator from American Pie. She gonna look like shipbrick from American Pie or whatever the dude Shermanator, whatever the fuck cuz name was with the red hair. He about to look like Shermanator from American Pie. Trying to, trying to make somebody's 152. Fuck no. Hell nah. He can't make it, bro. You ain't gonna make it out here in these streets. You're not gonna make it in that. Canelo's too big now. And see the thing how I know is he looked good at the Chavez Jr. weigh-in, at the Rocky Fielding weigh-in. He looked real good. Like so you could tell his body would reject 152. AJ KO Wilder. Man, AJ need to KO a contract, bro. You talking about AJ need to KO Eagle KO Wilder. He need to KO the negotiations first. Why y'all starting with me? AJ need to KO them negotiations first. It's mod, you know. Why wouldn't he want to be undisputed? I Yeah, KO them negotiations first. Man, I hope Wilder fight Fury. Fuck all this. Serves you right. You should have took it when you had it. They know it too. That's why they keep saying it in interviews. Like, oh, he's like, ah ha ha. I'm gonna leave Joshua in the cold. You wouldn't say that if you didn't know what was going on. Listen, I ain't never seen that I can remember in my lifetime like Jay Z. One team's plan backfires so viciously in this period of time, like Eddie Hearn and Team Joshua. I think Tyson Fury won that fight. Who the fuck are you though? I barely even know who the fuck you are. I mean, that's cool. You're one person. Some people thought Fury won. Some people thought Wilder won. Some people thought the count was long. Some people thought it should have been waved off when he hit the deck and his eyes was closed. You know, some people thought it was a draw. So let's see. Look, someone said Fury lost. So at the end of the day, it needs clarification. So, you know, you guys with that casual shit is done for. See, look, someone said the count was long. So clearly, this needs whatever side of the fence you're on, it needs a resolution. You know, people want to just because you personally thought the fight was in Fury's favor, you know, without us knowing who you are, what your background is, if you're biased, if you're racist, if you're, you know, from England and you favor English, we don't know those things. So the bottom line is the general consensus is in the middle, you know, or on either side. If you say draw was fair, then nobody should be upset with the rematch. Either one of those giants would beat Joshua. What if the greater scheme of things, it was better that it was a draw for Wilder Fury fight? As long as the heavyweight division is lit, it's better for the sport. I agree with that. I agree with that. I said that. You know, I said the same thing. It is good because you know the reason it's good is because now Eddie Hearns and Joshua's cockamamie plans, they can't dictate every move in the heavyweight division. This was a this was a huge reality check. You know, this is a huge reality check that not one team controls the board and can starve people out and move when they want and do whatever they want. This is a reality check in that in that regard. So I love it. Man, I love the fact that now there's different options. Because if it was Joshua, then he would be. I have four belts. And, I fought Klitschko. I fight champions in my 15th fight. You know the same stuff he's been saying. So now you got to mix. You got to different ways and different avenues, and it puts pressure on them because they want to keep fighting Dillian White over and over again when there's a guy named Luis Ortiz that they don't even mention like that. They don't even mention Luis Ortiz. All that posturing, listen, all that posturing from rematch room, I mean match room, they're like Dillian White tried to offer Luis Ortiz probably shit money. And now he's fighting Derek Chisora. Okay, for why doesn't Dillian White, if he beats Chisora, fight Luis Ortiz after them? Why didn't Joshua fight Luis Ortiz? Why don't you ever hear him say that? Yeah, I told you I created that rematch room. That's all we getting. Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder. I mean, Dillian White 2. Dillian White Chisora 2. You know, they're going to do Parker versus Dillian White 2. AJ versus Parker 2. You know, Carl Froch versus George Groves 1 and 2. It's a rematch room. That's what they're doing. Why don't they mention Luis Ortiz? Just please answer that. They got top heavyweights. Luis Ortiz is a top heavyweight. Simple as. Why not fight Luis Ortiz? Wilder's playing games with you now. That's what you feel. Fight Luis Ortiz. Hey Darren, you a casual dog. You said Ortiz gets KO'd by AJ. Okay, then tell him to fight him. It's that simple. These casuals, I'm telling you, they don't know shit about boxing, and they rather just say it because it's therapeutic. That's fine. If you think AJ knocks out Luis Ortiz, then tell him to start mentioning it. So if Fury fights Wilder, that would be a great stay busy fight for Joshua. You know, Luis Ortiz is a road warrior, so he'll fight wherever. So push for the fight. You know, tell Eddie Hearn, tweet to him every day and say, I'm not buying any Joshua fights, you and all your friends, unless he fights Luis Ortiz while he waits for Wilder Fury. No, you don't want the best for best. You want to do all these false predictions without seeing it. That's what you want. Listen, let's see it. I tell you the same thing. People always say that, oh, Tank will get destroyed by Loma. Okay, well, let's watch it. Let me see that. If that's what's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. Let me see it. Let me watch it. AJ not fighting Ortiz, exactly. Give him the fair one. He was your mandatory, and then he got, taken out the rankings. But you still fought a guy who had 2 failed drug tests. The second one wasn't even explained, and Joshua still fought him. So you're trapped. You can't say, oh, we're not fighting Luis Ortiz because he failed PED tests. Gerald Miller failed a PED test, if I'm not mistaken. And they're talking about him getting the fight. Povetkin failed 2 in 1 year. He got the fight. So what y'all talking about?
The cockroaches and broken windows saw something he hadn't expected. The walls of the house were plastered with handwritten notes. Some were letters.
Man, rematch room don't want that. I'm trying to tell you. Because if they did, why don't they mention it? That's cool. Wilder's playing. He's ducking you. If that's what you truly feel, nobody believes you, but whatever. That's what you feel. Fight Luis Ortiz and set your sights on him. Why is it got to be Dillian White, Derek Chisora? New York's good. It's just a little bit cold, but, it's real good. Somebody answer this. How is Luis Ortiz not considered, but Derek Chisora, who has multiple losses, including 2 losses to Wilder's opponent, Tyson Fury, and 1 by stoppage. He got stopped by his new promoter, David Hay. He lost to Dillian White, and Rematch Room is talking about Dillian White versus Dillian White versus AJ or Chisora. Like, it's just horrible, bro. And like, listen, this is what Rematch Room is doing. Rematch Room, they're like pretty much bamboozling the fans with. I like Dillian White. I true story. I like him. I like he be saying some funny shit. He's a warrior. But if you really look at it, they're gassing him up in terms of like making it look like he's so much more improved from the Joshua fight. But ultimately, we don't really know that because he hasn't really fought anyone as good as Joshua, or even like really close to as good as Joshua. Do you get what I'm saying? He fought Parker, yes, but Parker, to me, like Parker wasn't like the man to beat. He was still kind of developing as a champion, and he kind of came up on a situation where Top Rank, they wanted to use where he was from, and make this Andrew Ruiz fight, make some money, and they put together a fight for a vacant title, and then he was basically learning on the job, just like Charles Martin. He was just thrown into a championship, through a vacancy, through Tyson Fury. So realistically, Joseph Parker wasn't the man to beat to me, and he was coming off of a Joshua loss, so he was no longer even a champion, and that's literally the best win that Dillian White has had since Joshua. So Joseph Parker's at least he's cool, like he's solid, but again he's coming directly off of the heels of a loss. Who knows how much confidence he lost? You know, he was no longer a champion, stuff like that. It's not like Dillian White fought him when he was a champion before AJ, right? And then you look at them other guys. I mean, Lucas Brown, Robert Helenius, like those guys weren't world beaters either. I mean, if Dillian White, if Matchroom really wanted to prove that he was AJ ready for a rematch, because he lost to AJ before AJ was even a champion by stoppage. So if they really wanted to build that, they could put him in probably a tougher fight, and not like a tougher domestic fight, because Dillian White and Derek Chisora, yeah, that's a tough domestic fight, but you put Derek Chisora in there with Luis Ortiz, what do you think will happen? Is he beating Luis Ortiz? He was losing to Tackle, and then turned it around. People would thought Derek Chisora was done. He's in good shape though. I'll give him that. He looks to be in real good shape. You know. So rematch room. They don't want to prove that this is a new improved Dillian White. They want to just put him in certain matches, and he's gotten past them, and then they want to just tell the fans that he's so much like, okay, for example, I got a good example. First of all, I don't think Canelo beats Floyd, you know, in general, styles make fights. But if we're talking about improvement from a rematch, even though he hasn't fought someone as good as Floyd per se, Canelo's has fought some real people. Like he's fought some good names since Floyd, and he showed you improvement over high level competition. So you can easily argue that Canelo is a better fighter. Like he's better than what he was, or like he's improved since that. He fought Lada, Golovkin twice, Chavez Jr. Like he's proven that he's learning and improving. He really has. Guys like Sergio Martinez, he lost to Antonio Margarito earlier in his career, but then the one that beat Kelly Pavlik, he really beat Kermit Cintron too. Kermit Cintron, he should have beat him, knocked out Paul Williams. That was clearly a much more improved Sergio Martinez, right? For Dillian White, I don't really feel like he's rematch room hasn't put him in there with the styles that I think would prove if he's significantly improved. He's improved in the fact that he's doing his thing and he hasn't lost again. But, you know, I think like a fight that was talked about. And to his credit, Dillian White wanted this, but Dillian White and Povetkin, that would have been a better fight than Robert Helenius. You know what I'm saying? Than Lucas Brown. Gerald Big Baby Miller, same deal. Luis Ortiz, same deal. Joe Joyce. Like these are the types of fights that to me that would show if he's ready for AJ. Because if you could beat Luis Ortiz, then people will give you a shot to beat AJ. But beating Robert Helenius has nothing to do with AJ. Beating a guy you already beat, Derek Chisora, that you're familiar with this stuff, that doesn't mean you could beat AJ. So rematch room is not even trying to. They're not even trying to make it so you believe that a rematch would be different because they just want to keep Dillian White hopefully winning. You know what I'm saying? AJ don't got that knockout power like Wilder. Wilder got more power for sure. Heck, I don't think AJ could beat Ortiz. That's what I'm saying. It's a good fight. Let's see it. The Vampire Stream. It's a good fight. Let's see it. And then rematch room trying to convince people that they really want to make the fight. They really want to make AJ and Wilder stop it, bro. It's just too much weighing against them. And DAZN is not doing no type of numbers. Hold on, yo. Shout out to this coconut water.
Judge Ralph Van Pelt presided over Alvin Ridley's murder trial and immediately had him evaluated by a psychologist. He certainly probably would have qualified, I think, for mentally ill.
DAZN be buffering.
But that only if you're found guilty, but mentally ill. The
Another thing DAZN I seen that it does, it'll like glitch out, and then like the commentators will say like, "Oh, he needs to go in there with the killer mentality and establish his jab," and then it'll repeat that whole commentary. Shout out to Teddy Fresh, $2 super chat. Whispers the Vampire Stream. Yeah, it'll like I'll hear the same commentary twice because it'll like double back. It'll like reverse it and double back. Anyway, let's see what Derek Chisora Dillian White looks like. That's a tough fight. Dillian White I thought he lost to Derek Chisora. And Chisora looks in shape. Man, what if Derek Chisora win? That'll be the worst thing for Matchroom. If Derek Chisora win, oh my gosh. They gonna be fucked up. Listen, hey, rematch room gonna be fucked up. Because first of all, AJ don't want to fight Derek Chisora because I guess that was one of his heroes looking up. Two, even if he's down to fight him, that ain't no big fight. That ain't no sell out no 100,000 at Wembley. I think the British fans are loyal, but everybody's loyalty has limits. They're not just gonna come on, man. They know British fans aren't gonna be like see one of their own like Tyson Fury taking back-to-back Wilder tough fights, and then AJ up here with all the see, and that's the thing. Listen, this is why the damage. Oh my God, we about to go in. This is why the damage control is being done so crucial because they know their fellow countryman Tyson Fury took a huge risk and he showed that he let his nuts hang. Pause, and he showed that he's about that life, fighting the hardest puncher in boxing. And then if they go in there after Tyson Fury just did that, and if he runs it back and does it again, no matter win, lose, or draw again, that makes Joshua look even worse. Like, damn, how you let this dude who got fat as fuck, almost 400 pounds, doing drugs, did a 3-year layoff. That's like going to jail damn near. Getting out of shape, getting locked down for 3 years, and then coming out, and then and it was a prison sentence because he was depressed. He wasn't happy with life. So basically Tyson Fury did a little short bid in jail and came back and still fought Wilder before you. So if they fight, man, if they fight again, it's gonna make Joshua look bad. That's why you see the damage control coming out so heavy from Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua, because they have to now find a reason and a scapegoat to blame somebody, because they know that if Wilder Fury happened again, people are gonna question it. They're gonna question it. People are gonna be like, yo, wait, hold on. This dude basically did a short bid prison sentence. Not really, so don't go saying, oh, you go say Tyson Fury's in prison. But it's the equivalent. He was mentally in prison. He gained weight, went away for 3 years, didn't look like he was boxing like Mikey Garcia, at least when he went away for almost 3 years, he was at least boxing, because I used to see, you know, ES News used to do like random videos, and he's like, I'm retired now, but he was still in the gym and shit. Tyson Fury just let everything go, still came back and fought Wilder before you. They know this. They're not dumb. They know this. And they know that AJ is going to look extremely bad if Tyson Fury runs it back with Wilder. They just created that first fight, which was an instant classic. You got Lennox Lewis telling me, the videos on my page, that Joshua can wait. That's what he said. That's what Lennox Lewis fucking said. He said Joshua can wait. I want to see that again. And then like doing the whole 12th round reenactment. The videos are on my page. And Eddie Hearns and them know this. They're still in the scene, still in the spotlight, taking a large chunk of that heavyweight respect. So the only thing they could do is damage control and hurry up and try to do it, overly push and make it look like they're pushing for the fight, so they have a justification and someone to blame when the fight doesn't happen with them. It's that simple. And it's so easy to see. But they're trying to make Wilder, but you've already played this card. You've already played this card of, oh, Wilder doesn't want to fight and blaming him. You've already done the blame game. You've already done the blame game. Now you're just trying to run the same game. Like if you, that's like, let's say someone on the street try to sell you like a stolen stereo system, and then you figure out that they're trying to sell you hot merchandise, and then you see them a month later and they try to run the same game. Like, come on, that don't work, bro. You already did this. They really just recycled the rematch room. Once again, they're recycling the same game. Running the same game. Oh, it's Wilder's fault. Oh, we really wanted it, but Wilder didn't. Like, okay, bro. Like I said, just there's too much evidence and circumstantial evidence and different things to support everything that I'm telling you. Like I said, why were you doing interviews before the fight, before you knew what would happen, and you predicted that Wilder would knock him out? So when you thought it was going to be a Wilder knockout, why weren't you going on First Take? It's not like he had a fight lined up, so he went on First Take, and it was his fight week, so it was in town. Why didn't you go to First Take then and put your bid in? It literally, you guys can go pinpoint the dates. The damage control started after Wilder Fury outcome, which makes it bullshit. Because why did you wait till after the outcome and then all of a sudden start doing these like more aggressive call outs? Why?
After a little while, he started getting stomach cramps, severe stomach cramps.
Why didn't you go on First Take during the promotion? Once again, poor game planning. You didn't want to. You wanted to ignore Wilder Fury because you thought it was gonna give it more credence and more popularity. So you didn't want it. You didn't want the fight, and then now all of a sudden you're gonna come out after it's over. It don't work like that. You could have did all of this. They're doing this damage control tour, talking about, oh, why would he not want undisputed? It was undisputed, and you fought Povetkin. Nothing has changed. The only thing that's changed is Wilder's influence, his popularity, and same with Tyson Fury's. But it would have been undisputed if you fought in September, if you fought Wilder. Did you see Dominic Brazil comment saying Wilder shouldn't be in the same building as Joshua, and Joshua would knock him out in 4 rounds? He sounds like an abused, bitter ex-girlfriend. Listen, I don't go off of stuff like that because here's why. AJ had him looking like the fly, like busted his eye up and shit. And sometimes you have a respect when you share the ring with the guy. Beyond that, Wilder's team and whatever punched him in front of his family or whatever the situation was. You know what I'm saying? So I can understand why you would have ill will towards Wilder and then give it up to Joshua because you shared the ring with Joshua, and then Wilder, or whatever happened, tried to embarrass you in front of your kids and punch you in in front of your family or whatever. So I can't go off of that because it's too hard for people to separate their emotions and personal feelings from their predictions.
Introducing the Teeter Freestyle, a true step forward in the art and science of exercise. I started Teeter to help people with
And the comment makes no sense anyway. Wilder doesn't deserve to be in the same building, but Dominic Brazil did, and Wilder is a champion. Like, so how did Dominic Brazil, being undefeated with no belt, he deserved to be in the same building as Joshua, and he was in the same building as Joshua because they fought. But then Wilder, who has a belt, shouldn't be in the same building. That doesn't even make sense to me. I just seen Brazil today too. But to me, that doesn't really make sense. How did you get the fight then? Because you didn't have a belt. You were undefeated with no belt. He's undefeated with a belt. So of course he deserves to be in the same building. Smash the like button, man. The real is back.
So many of the issues that I had with doing a cardio workout. I can sit there, I need a full body workout and not be in pain while I'm doing it.
I don't know with the WBC. They got a lot of questions, stuff going on right now. Someone said, "How is Dominic Brazil the mandatory if Dillian White's number one?" I don't know. I mean, but you can also ask the WBC, how come everybody it was reported from them, like the winner of Canelo Golovkin 2 was Charlo was the mandatory. He fought an eliminator with Hugo Centeno to become the mandatory. And then when it was decided that Canelo, avenged the draw with the victory, all of a sudden you say Triple G got to fight Charlo. So they offered 250 to Luis Ortiz. He probably got not that much less than that, or maybe even the same, to fight on the Wilder Fury undercard. So that's shit to fight Dillian White. You gonna sell out the O2 Arena? See, Rematch Room keeps doing that. When the fights they don't want to make, they'll lowball the fuck out of the person. That's another way to avoid the fight. Offering someone they would be foolish to take, something they would be foolish to take. Like, I told you, this is a true story. I used Craigslist. I was selling an old MacBook. There's like a MacBook Air or a MacBook. I think it was a MacBook Air. It was like a laptop I have that I bought from somebody, but it was in good shape and all that. And I was selling it for $500, and because Macs have good resale value. Then the person hit me up on Craigslist talking about, "Hey, I'll give you $75 and some Vicodin." Like, man, get the fuck out of here. They gonna send me a message talking about $75. It was $75 or $100 and some Vicodins. Like, I'm asking for 500. You gonna offer me some pills that I don't take and $75? Fuck out of here. So that's the same concept of lowballing someone. If I took it for 75 in pills, then you winning because you got you got a laptop in pristine shape that would cost way more than that for $75 and some pills.
Instead of sitting in my favorite chair, now I'm sitting on the free stuff. I can watch TV. I'm moving my legs. I'm moving my arms. Before I know it, the show's over, and I just got a great workout without even thinking about it.
I don't understand why people from the UK think Ortiz is shits. Ortiz did better than Fury did against Wilder. His only mistake is he tried to fight Wilder instead of sticking to boxing him. Listen, I don't want to hear anybody from the UK talk about somebody is shit when when they be backing Sam Eggington in a massive upset. It's not no massive upset. It's a massive upset to you because you thought he was somebody, but they be doing stuff like that. Talking about Lee Selby's the Welsh Mayweather. He ain't even the Welsh Jeff Mayweather, let alone Floyd Mayweather. Fuck out of here. How did he get that name? How did he get? Didn't he just lose to Josh Warrington, who fighting Frampton? How the fuck did? Listen, how is Lee Selby the Welsh Mayweather? He ain't even Yaya Mayweather. You know, fuck you mean? What does he do like Floyd? At all? He got knocked down by Eric Hunter. Like, what does he do? Like, arguably lost to Eric Hunter. What is Mayweather-esque about him? He don't have Mayweather money. He don't have Mayweather resume. He doesn't have Mayweather style. But he's called the Welsh May. You know, that's like, all right, I'm the biracial fucking David Copperfield then. I don't do no magic, but, you know, that's what it is. Because I said so. Yeah, I'm light-skinned Copperfield. Fuck y'all.
Stacy happened to begin with Claudius's soliloquy in Act 3, in which Claudius agonizes over his decision to repent for killing Hamlet's father.
Hey, you out of pocket. He said, I barely know who the fuck you are. Yeah, so anyway, they know Luis Ortiz ain't garbage. So they think David Price is the best. They still be talking about David Price. He got a fight coming up again. They still giving him chances, but Luis Ortiz is horrible. Okay.
Tears began to stream down her face.
They still be talking like David Price. Like David Price be talking too. Like he'd be like, yeah, give me 2 or 3 more fights. I'm back in it. What? Back in what?
Yes, you've done something. Yes. And Stacy's first
So yeah, I definitely don't want to hear that. Luis Ortiz. Like, people in boxing just gotta keep it real. They gotta just keep it real, bro. They like, and it's almost like it's what they accuse you of. They really do. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll be like, "Oh, you Americans, you Yanks, you just backing the guy because he's American." That's exactly what a lot of British fighters do. The Americans don't be tripping off of that like that. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people in American fighters that don't get love. They talk shit about Terrence Crawford. He one of the best American fighters, and they talking about who is he really beat. The UK be doing that, where they're like, yeah, David Price, he was doing good up until like he's not the top guy though.
food, which concealed the taste of the poison. The poison she used mimicked the signs of a heart attack, and her father died a few hours later.
Damn.
The autopsy
She poisoned her dad though.
poison in his system.
Anyway, I'm about to chill out. I just wanted to do a quick vampire stream.
Marie swore
Your boy,
to secrecy.
I got new shit coming on the channel, so just be warned. Channel members, stay up. Appreciate you, shooters. We working.
Stacy is torn
But we're gonna talk about this more.
C2 is trying to keep.
Peace.